Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you how you can turn a big thrifted shirt into a skirt set. That's today on Refashioning with Rachel. First, while wearing the shirt, place a pin where you want the end of your blouse to fall. Make sure you have enough fabric at the bottom for your skirt, so you might need to end your blouse somewhat higher waisted. Add ½ inch for seam allowance, and cut off the bottom of your shirt. And set aside the bottom part for later. Fold your blouse in half, carefully lining up the side seams and the shoulder seams. Then take a shirt that fits you well to use as a pattern, fold it in half the same way, and lay it on top of your project shirt, lining up the shoulder seams and the center fold. Trace around the seams of your well-fitting shirt, adding ½ inch for seam allowance. And cut. Moving on to the sleeves. Lay your nice sleeve over your project sleeve, lining up the cuffs and the top fold of the sleeve, and trace around it, adding ½ inch for seam allowance. I should have ironed my sleeves first, but it still worked. And cut it out, cutting right through the cuff. And then use that sleeve as a template to cut out the other sleeve. On each of these sleeves, mark the center of the shoulder with a little notch. Lay out your bodice and your sleeves. The button placket of the sleeves should be facing toward the back. On the bodice, cut in little notches to mark the center of the shoulder. Then open up your bodice so the armholes are lying flat. And with right sides together, pin the sleeve to the bodice, starting at the shoulder, and then from each end of the armhole back up toward the shoulder. If you end up with some extra fabric in the sleeves, as I did, just make the sleeve fit by adding a few little pleats near the shoulder seam. If, on the other hand, your armhole is too big in the bodice, you may need to take it in a little bit at the side seams. If you're enjoying this video so far, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And once everything is pinned, sew the sleeves to the bodice. If you're wondering why my hand is all scratched up, it's because I'm taking care of an orphaned kitten right now, and she really likes to dig in her nails when I'm feeding her. But she's really cute, so I let her do it. And then finish off these raw edges with a zigzag stitch or a serger. Now fold the entire bodice with right sides together. And pin all along the side seams and underarm seams. And sew. Start at the cuff so that you can make sure it is perfectly lined up as you sew. And I highly apologize for the lack of focus here, so I'll just speed up this part right here. Then serge or zigzag the raw edge. If you are serging, leave a tail at the cuff, and then using an embroidery needle, feed the tail back through the stitch to finish it nicely. And the last step to finish off the cuff, just stitch that seam allowance down toward the button placket to make the cuff lie nice and flat. And now you should have a fully functioning cuff that fits you well. And the final step for this blouse is to simply hem the bottom by folding up the raw edge twice, just 1/4 inch so we don't lose any length, and securing with a stitch. and then iron everything so that it looks way more professional. Moving on to the skirt. If you have a button close to the top like I did, remove it and set it aside for now. And pin it closed at the top and the bottom so that it doesn't shift around. Then turn it inside out so that right sides are together. And fold it in half. Take your waist measurement, divide it by 4, and add 1/2 inch for seam allowance. Make a mark that distance away from the fold, and then draw in a straight line from that mark to the bottom corner of your skirt. And I had to bring it in a little bit on the sides because I had this little detail in my shirt. Then unfold it and pin the side seams and sew. Start at the bottom so you can make sure the hem is perfectly matched up on both sides. Then serge or zigzag your raw edges. If you're serging, leave a tail at the hem of the skirt, and then using an embroidery needle, feed the tail back through the stitch to finish your hem nicely. And now we have a beautifully hemmed skirt that was very easy to do. Then sew the bottom of your skirt closed so that it doesn't fly open. To finish off the waist, cut a strip of scrap fabric that is a couple inches longer than the waist and 2 inches wide. Fold it in half and iron it. And fold in about 1/2 inch from the end and iron it down. Now pin this strip to the right side of your skirt, lining up the raw edges, starting with the folded end of the strip. When you get to the other end of the strip, trim it back so you have just 1/2 inch of overhang, and then fold up that 1/2 inch and iron it down. And then pin it in place. It should line up with the end of the skirt. And now sew the strip to the skirt. Now flip it over so you're working on the wrong side of the skirt, and fold over the strip enough so that you can see a little bit of the skirt peeking out on the other side. And then stitch it down, making the stitch close to the fold. Then iron everything so that it looks professional. And lastly, reattach the button and make a new buttonhole at the top of the skirt. And after that, this project is finished. So here's a reminder of how it looked before. And here's how it looks now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and comment if you did. And have a beautiful day.